an Eddy Burback video. I love Eddy.
Hi, I'm Eddy Burback, and today we're talking about generations, specifically Gen Z and Millennials. The reason I want to talk about that today is if you're unaware, there is a war going on between Gen Z and Millennials.
Sure.
Pick your side and get ready to fight. Skinny jeans, side parts in your hair, Harry Potter. These are the pressing issues of our time. What are we doing?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the real war is between Zoomers and everybody else. We all fucking hate Zoomers.
Gen Z and Millennials have sparked up this huge argument online. And when I say Gen Z and Millennials, I mean some teens in Gen Z and a lot of older Millennials.
Here's the thing. I've met a lot of dope Zoomers. I think Zoomers are this really interesting generation where there's like 30% of them that are like Chads. They're dope. They're smart. They're capable. They're beyond their years. They're worldly. They're friendly. And that's like 30% of them, right? And then the other 70% are like broken people. They're just shattered. So it's like interesting because the like 30% of a generation being awesome is like a lot higher percentage than most, right? I would say like only like 5% of my generation is awesome, but they at least function. Like at least like 50 to 60% of that generation function to some degree. Whereas I think Zoomers, they have a big percentage of really cool people, but they have the highest percentage of just being totally shattered. We made them that way?
You know,
I don't think so.
Economically, how
I think we took our hands off the wheel. I think we Tesla autopiloted it with Gen Z. Let's be honest. We didn't make them that way. The iPads did. Right? But that's what happens when you stick an iPad in a kid's hand at fucking 4 months and he's watching Coco Melon.
Then
sounds like it was us then. Yeah. Think about it this way. The iPad became to children now what the cell phone was to my generation. I came of age at a time when all of a sudden parents were expected to give their kids cell phones unless they didn't function in society anymore. All of a sudden it was like, wait, your kid doesn't have a cell phone? How do you get a hold of them? What if you all fucking die and you need to get a hold of them and blah, 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 blah. And like my parents were some of the last holdouts where it was like, your kid doesn't have a cell phone? That's irresponsible. And I feel like the iPad kind of became like that. Like if your kid didn't have a computer or an iPad, it's like they can't do school anymore. I mean, especially during COVID, how the fuck is your kid supposed to do schooling? He needs a computer set up. So to say that an individual parent was responsible for giving their kids that communication technology in an era when the only way that they could learn was being plugged into that communication technology, it's like, I don't know if that's completely accurate.
So it seems that a big point of contention between Gen Z and Millennials is that Gen Z says that skinny jeans and parting your hair to the side rather than down the middle is no longer cool. And there's a lot of older Millennials that seem to really dislike that. So I want to introduce you to a reaction from an older millennial to this criticism that they've been getting.
Hey Gen Z, you can suck it. You can't tell me what to wear. 'Cause I've been rocking this side part since you had Kermit on your underwear. So cute. And you can pry these skinny jeans from my cold dead ass, you hear? So Gen Z, you can suck it. You can't tell me what to wear. Oh, you guys look grumpy. You should take a nap.
That physically hurt me. So what the fuck? Why do you care if a 15-year-old thinks you're cool? This is so embarrassing. Oh my God, like why would you give a shit?
Because getting older is hard. Dude, I don't care who you are, okay? I don't care who you are or how old you are. When someone younger calls you old, it sucks. I'm sure there's a 17-year-old in here right now, 17 years old. I bet I could find you. And if I put you in a room with my fucking 8-year-old niece and she was like, "You're old," it would hurt somewhere inside of you. Somewhere inside of your soul, you'd be like, "What the fuck? Time is gonna go on without me?" And you want to know what hurts even more? You're always in between, because someone is always gonna call you old, and some old fuck is always gonna say that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you're too young. So age is just a bitch in general. There's never an ideal age, because someone is gonna tell you you're old and someone's gonna tell you you're too fucking young. Okay, I got a 93-year-old dad. I'm in my goddamn 30s now. He's still like, "Well, son, one day you'll understand." It's like, maybe I won't. I can die at any time now. Dad, I've been doing drugs and I'm over 30. The clock is ticking. I might never get this. So what makes you old? I know when a person is old. Some of my frat brothers, some of my friends, they're old. And it's not because they had kids or stopped taking care of themselves or blah, blah, blah. It's when you stop growing. That is literally when you become old. This woman singing about, "I part my hair on the side and I wear my skinny jeans." You're done. You're old. Because he's making a good point. Everything changes. My dad still is remarkably young because he makes an effort to always learn and change and do things differently. As soon as you start to stagnate and you lock yourself in, like you're like, "This is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life," you're old.
And I think that song really escalated things. So let's see maybe a response from someone in Gen Z. Hopefully they'll say, "Hey, you're 30. That's kind of embarrassing, right? Maybe we shouldn't have this argument."
Oh, Gen Z is so mean to us. What did millennials ever do to you? School shootings. Yeah, I don't care about the skinny jeans with the side part. Columbine, Sandy Hook. That's you. That's your generation. That's your trend.
Jesus Christ,
Whoa.
Dude.
What?
All right, he kind of went for the nuclear option there, man. Jesus Christ. That's a lot. I was in kindergarten when Columbine happened. And I guess, he does make a point. We are kind of the Beatles of school shootings. Millennials. But I think Gen Z then is like the One Direction of school shootings. They really perfected the sound. That's so dark. They took that shit to a whole nother level.
Whoa. What? Okay, especially this. This argument is not only extremely disrespectful, but just so beyond stupid. First off, the thing that he mentioned first happened in 1999, which means it would be the first possible year of a millennial. When you're criticizing a generation for everything bad they've done, you need to realize, I don't claim other millennials because it's literally everyone in a certain time period. It's everyone. So there are millennials that are my best friends. There are millennials that are the worst people to ever walk the earth. So grouping everyone up and attaching horrible things that happen to their whole generation
Eddy is pissed.
is so weird and tribalist and bizarre. It's just like, these are very tragic things that happen. And what, you're frustrated with who? What millennials are you? Who's the enemy here?
Millennials have some goddamn nerve logging onto this app, talking shit about Gen Z.
Okay, I can't believe this bitch is trying to convince us she's in Gen Z. I don't care how big your glasses are. You're not under 30. There's no way, dude. Dude, this is a new trend. This is a fucking millennial pretending to be a Gen Zer.
Millennials have some goddamn nerve logging onto this app, talking
Goddamn nerve. You have some goddamn nerve pretending that you were born after 1989.
shit about Gen Z, this fucking app that we allow them to be on. When we're doing the work they were supposed to be doing. Baby, y'all were supposed to save the climate, starting revolutions and shit. What did you contribute?
Neff
Mumford and Sons? A craft brewery on every corner?
Dude, this is Zoomer face. She's doing Zoomer face. She's the Rachel Dolezal of age. What are you talking about? You're 30. We know it. I see these bags under your eyes.
a fucking goddamn reboot of every movie in the 90s because you wouldn't shut the fuck up about missing it so much? When they weren't even good in the first place, you just peaked when you were 8 years old.
So this person seems to be Gen Z, but a bit older, which could...
Eddie knows it! Eddie knows it! Eddie knows it. Eddie, first thing Eddie said.
I was at least around longer than some Gen Z people, and I don't remember a prophecy saying millennials were supposed to start a revolution or save the climate. We want to try. Name 20 senators that are millennials. Name one. Is there one millennial senator? Yeah, so there's one millennial senator, and he was just elected. So
hell yeah.
Already, those are two things that are wrong. Then all the final things she lists are things that would probably be Gen X, because millennials can't afford economically to open up a craft brewery.
Yeah, we
so it's like,
suck.
if you take a moment to think about this battle, you already see the seams in everything everyone's talking about. And for real, like, to both sides, what are you so angry about? I apologize for showing
I'm
you
ready.
this.
Fire
but
up.
It has to be shown.
Fire my
So
ding
here we
dong
go.
right up.
What? Gen Z's trying to what?
Oh.
Cancel Eminem. Gen Z's trying to cancel Eminem? Honey, that's cute. Listen, little kitties, let me make this quite clear. This man was around even before you were here. So what, you're all mad because the man was a lyricist while all your rappers are a mumbling gibberish?
Oh, dude. Chat, you are cringing hard. I'm about to have a controversial take all over everybody. Eminem, outside of like his first two albums, sucked. There you go. I'm sorry. Eminem had like two good albums, and the albums that were good were all about him basically killing his girlfriend. And I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to make peace with the fact that the dude's best music was when he was a drug addict who was rapping about killing his mom and his girlfriend. I don't know how to make peace with that. I don't know. All right? The 90s were a fucking really angry time. You know what I am not ashamed of from that era that has been misunderstood completely and is actually fucking incredible? Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit is fucking incredible. And they're good. Yeah, come on. Sear and I do the Fred Durst impression back to each other all the time. Yo, I'm from Jacksonville. Hey. Much of your generation. This era of MTV was actually fucking incredible, bro. I don't know if you Zoomers can ever like fathom what it was like to have culture defined by one show every week. You would literally go every week, you'd leave school, you'd sit down in your living room, you'd turn on MTV, and TRL would define culture. It'd be like, hey, here's what's cool. Here's what you listen to. And if you don't like these things, you suck. What is TRL? Total Request Live. I don't even know if Zoomers can understand that MTV used to have music on it, and their biggest show was TRL, and you would go home and you would watch this, and you would all watch like an hour and a half of music videos every single day on TV. This is, pretend you've just gotten home from school, right? You rode the bus, you run home, you grab a Lunchable, and you sit down, you turn on TRL, and it's like, and then Carson Daly would come on. Hey, everybody, I'm Carson Daly. Imagine there's like a screaming group of fans. Ha, 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 ha. Yes. All right. Total Request Live. It's 1999. We're playing all the hits. Coming in at number 10. Here's Jimmy Eat World Sweetness. All right, that was Jimmy Eat World Sweetness. Now, because it was the 10th song in the lineup, they would only play like 30 seconds of it, right? Like the ones that like were 10 and 9 and 8, they would play like 30 seconds of it, and you would be like, fuck, And then they'd be like, all right, our number one song for the week. Here it is for 17 straight weeks. 50 Cent Into Club. And then like everybody would, ah! Anyway, that's how TRL worked.